our guest who is in the studio now, and she's not the only one. She's joined by Olisa Ogbolu. I'm talking about Tiger Fire Rose, a content creator and a filmmaker. And Olisa Ogbolu is a photographer, and it's good to have you on the show this morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi. And you look good. You look good. You look great.
you.
So
Thank you
good
so
to have
much.
you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Olisa is also an art director, and
great.
Today we are taking a look at content creation and the creative industry, how it can tackle unemployment. Let's start with you, Tiger Fire Rose. Now, can I just keep it at Rose? So that I don't
Pick
bite
whatever
my
you
tongue?
want. Some people are like Tiger Fire, Tiger Rose, Fire Rose.
So I don't
Tiger.
bite my tongue. So I want you to tell us, all the steps that comes together to make you or to make anyone a content creator. All the things that you have to do to create a certain content, the lengths you have to go to, so that we at least have a basic understanding of what content creating is like.
For content creation, I can't say there are really like steps that you have to go through, because there's a place of talent, there's skill, and then actually some people can go to school and learn this thing. So it's like different facets. There are different facets to it, basically. So for people that have the talent, you can't just go on just your talent. You have to hone your talent so that you are skilled at what you do. So now you're driving on both talent and skill. And then for people that just love content creation and then they perhaps don't have the talent, you can learn the skill and then go to school, take the proper classes, do all of that. Or so but the best way is for you to actually have the talent, so that you kind of have a cheat kind of thing. Okay. And then for content creation, there's so many angles to it, because who are you creating content for? Who's your target market? What do you want to say? Because every content is pushing a narrative, is pushing a story, is pushing something. So what are you saying with your content? Do you want to make people laugh? Do you want to make people think? How do you want people going away from it? So you have to first know what the message you'd like to pass across, who you are trying to hit, what you're trying to say. And I think that should be like a principle or a guideline for whatever content you're creating. Once you have that, then you can go, so that when anybody is telling you, oh, this is that, like, if it's not your target market, it's just like, okay, but it's not meant for you, because your content can't be for everybody. That's another mistake that a lot of people make. Your content cannot appeal to everyone. So no matter how awesome and fantastic it is, there will be that one person that is just like, it's not for me. And you can't start being offended. If not, you will not create anything anymore.
Okay. So quickly before we move to the next, let's talk about photography in this regard, Olisa. If there's anything I'm glad about the fact that both of you are two different creatives in two different fields.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about your fields is that your fields come together always. Your field will always come together, because there's no... I mean, as an art director and a photographer and then a content writer, you have to bring those contents to life. You have to. So how does it work for you for photography and art directing? Knowing fully well that 10 years ago, photography used to be Bababuni Cast photo studio, where you see people do like beside one tall flower. And they do like... So I would like for you to, itemize how photography has now grown exponentially to a point where you can actually make a career out of it, and how it works for you.
So it got to a point where, as I was working in advertising, you would have clients request for photography work, and you would be stuck with using the most expensive gear, things that cost 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. But technology has helped us in such a fantastic way, where you can deliver on jobs with your phone, your iPhone, your Oppo, so on and so forth. So it has been condensed to a talent anybody can hone at any budget.
Okay.
20 years ago, we couldn't say this. We would leave photography to the powers that be. But now it's like, oh, I see this beautiful flower, I see this beautiful signboard, I see a model. Bring out my phone, boom, boom, snap, it's done. So that has created so many opportunities for, the average man. It's no longer stuck to advertising, it's no longer stuck to art direction. It's just, it's a commodity now that anybody can access. So from where I'm coming from, you would have people talk about being an engineer, a doctor, very steady
Serious.
tropes.
Yeah.
Like nobody shifted from those tropes. Those were things that you had to abide by. But now creativity has become a common vocation. And people that would study law would finish law school, would pass the bar and everything, and then go directly to fashion, to photography, to content creation, to directing. So, I mean, I think it's awesome that, the creativity is winning. I used to be very doubtful of the path that I chose. But if anything, if the present time is any indication, you can see that, all these things are growing and it's for everybody now. So it's a great time to be alive.
Now, how then do you think governments and individuals can, invest into the entertainment industry, the creative industry at large, and would make money out of it? How lucrative is it? And that question would go to Tiger Pharaohs. After then, I get to hear your opinion also.
Okay.
So funding, grants.
Okay.
You should make grants available. We need money,
fair.
please.
Okay.
We need money because equipment is so expensive. Equipment is really expensive, and by the time you have a job with a client and maybe it goes on for about a week, and you have to rent equipment, you realize that the cost of renting equipment, you've almost bought maybe perhaps just one item of the equipment, but you have like so much that you have to do. So then you're forced to. Equipment eats up like almost 60% of a budget most of the time. So I feel like they should make grants available for us to access funds, they can put the securities and everything in place, but at least it should be there and we should be able to access it, because there's really, nobody wants to pour money into what they've not, because the first thing they ask you is, what have you done? But how can I have done something when I don't have the funds to you would give me money to do it, because as creatives, it's just, you have the idea, you have the dream, and then, you're just like, oh, this, but then there's no money to do it, and, you're just okay. So it just goes down. So I feel like if there's, money is coming in now, but then it's kind of still circling around a particular, it's not, it's not really spread out yet. It's not very accessible to, the young filmmakers, the ones that are this thing. So it's almost like your first go-to for funding is family and friends. Please help me, help my life, help my destiny. Help my destiny. If you don't support me when I blow, you see. So it's all of that. So I feel like the government really needs to make grants available. Do we have the agricultural sector now has so much grants? They have so much funding, so much everything, all of this poured into them because this thing. But then content is the new oil of Nigeria. It's the new gold of Nigeria. So I feel like they need to really pump into it, because the international market, they are seeing this and they are coming in and they are coming to take it, they are coming to buy into it and this thing. And then I just hope the government doesn't wake up and see it too late, when by the time you just realize that 80% of African content already belongs to the international market, and then you're just left with the 20% this thing. So
is it possible for creatives to siphon the grants and money going into agriculture?
I'll be like, so I'm a creative farmer. I plant ideas.
Or you just no, just apart now. I mean, there are new investment plans that you can invest in a farm, get grants. But then the proceeds from it, pour it into your creative.
But will I go and be farming okay.
I think we can all take a cue from Tony Elumelu. Yearly, he gives grants to industries like this. And on a smaller scale, there are companies that have marketing departments that, create films, ads. If suppliers for those ads or, photography could be rotated heavily, there would be food for everybody to eat. There's usually a tight circle. Oh, I trust this guy. You don't give opportunities to anybody else. So the same people keep on eating. And the people that are starving are left, talented people are left to just, starve. So we could all learn from, from taking a risk. And also on the creative side, you need to be able to show something that has promise. You can't feel entitled and be like, oh, you know what, I'm awesome, and you must give me this. No. You have to show something. It might not be perfect. It might be like a very low-budget film, but if your writing is fantastic, if your camera angles are great, and the person you're showing to has sense, you can be like, oh, you know what, I see what you did here. There wasn't money involved, but there's potential. So here, have my monies.
Thank you.
Hello, Faith.
Hello,
Faith.
good morning.
Good morning.
Please, I wanted to ask a question.
All right, please go ahead.
there are so many content creators out there, and we now that are aspiring to be content creators, how do we carve a niche for ourselves so we stand out among the rest?
All right. Thank you for calling, Faith.
First and foremost, for content, I believe being true to yourself is very important, because if you don't believe in the content that you're creating, people can tell. Because it's almost like when you put out content, you're putting out a part of you also. A part of you goes along with it. So for you to carve a niche for yourself is not a trap you can fall into is because you want to be unique. You are so unique, you go left field. And then you now don't understand why people cannot understand why you are so unique. So first and foremost, before you can branch out, you have to understand the rules of the game. Before you can break the rules, you need to know the rules. So you first have to do the work, understand what content creation is all about, understand what it is. So after you've done that and, experienced the normal, you can now say, but this is what everybody is doing. Okay, how about, everybody's wearing it on the right. Has anybody ever tried wearing it on the left? So you don't just jump in and say, I'm going to wear it in the middle. Like, what if perhaps there's a reason why it's not on the left? Like, So when you understand the rules, then you can now say, nobody has done this. Nobody has done that. Okay, I think I'll try this. I think I'll try that. I think that's what she has to do.
Okay.
So I was trying to drive to the point where it's... why do we have to wait for international organizations to notice Nigerian creators before you can, we Nigerians can take cognizance of that? And how do you think that impression can be corrected, Olisa?
So, to pay respect to the international landscape, they have been on this for way longer than we have been. But this is an example. The last Beyonce album that dropped had a flurry of Nigerian artists. They didn't compromise sound. They stayed true to their Afro beats, Afro pop. And Beyonce noticed this and acquired all of them on her album. So I understand that seeking international recognition and acknowledgement is important because they're the ones that have been, really strong in the game.
Yeah.
But I would not say it is like that currently. Before, yes, if you win an Oscar, a Cannes, Lion, an Emmy, you've made it in life.
That's true.
Now people are more concerned with winning local awards. You can speak to your audience, you can communicate with your audience. If you can do that, then the world is your oyster.
All right, please hold a thought. We have a caller on the line.
Adiola.
Hello, Adiola.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Please speak up.
Good morning. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Good morning to the guests in the studio. Okay, I have a question, and I'm directing it to the photographer in the studio.
All right.
Photography is kind of broad. Like when you're entering into the business of photography, you have different aspects. You have the wedding photographer, you have the nature photographer, political photographers, and all of that. So my question is, as a person who is just getting into the business, are you to focus on one aspect of photography or do everything that photography entails before now narrowing down your business into one aspect of photography?
All right. Thank you so much for calling, Adiola.
That's a great question. So I'll answer based on my experience.
All right.
Starting photography, I did almost everything. Landscape, wedding, fine art, portrait. And I just kept on sieving out the ones I did not really feel invested in. So people say wedding pays. Absolutely right. Wedding will give you the money you're looking for, right? Portraiture will give you the money you're looking for. And if you're willing to take a step forward, fine art photography. I love fine art photography. I love taking a further step, apart from just having a beauty shot, It's not just about fashion or, I look really nice in this picture. How can you take it a step forward? So creating posters for movies, that kind of stuff. So you have to start from somewhere. Your somewhere should be a broad scope of photography. You should try everything, dabble, and then, gradually sieve out what you don't like. If you like everything, I can do everything, please, do it.
Now, I want to talk about, the basic equipment that you need. Now, I'm sitting here and I'm saying, I'm a content writer. I'm a photographer. And people will look like, this baby's money. If you know the equipment she's using. But let us demystify these things.
Yes.
How much do I need for a startup in content writing or in photography? How much do I need to invest in basic equipment that can at least push, like when you say basic, not basic as per low quality, but basic as per at least normal, good quality that at least I can still push,
Yes.
that will help get more funds and stuff. Let's start with Rose.
So for content creation, it depends on if you're just a writer, then what you need to invest in is your mind. Invest in your mind and a good laptop, obviously. But then if you're like into everything, like if you're going to produce that content and push it, then for starters, get a really good phone that can at least shoot 4K or 1080p, but 4K, aim for 4K. And, you know, get like the phone stand, like the stand for it. Get a nice mic so that your audio is clear, you know. Get nice lights, like get the ring lights. You can get like these things really cheap. There are some lights that you can just like stick and then they just, you know. So they're not too expensive. So you can just for starters, at least, it has that high grade quality, but then you're just doing it with little before you can, you know, go onto your big cameras that are like this and you're like, yes, action. So yeah, you can do that.
How about photography?
Well, you have to understand your power.
Okay.
My first camera, entry level, you know, it was pretty basic, but it was only basic because I didn't really, you know, try my best to use it. I didn't squeeze the energy out of the camera.
Okay.
My mistake, I've learned. So, basic.
Oh, that's why you have to know your power.
I have to know your power because you can use a completely camera and be fantastic at it. And you can buy like a high-end camera and produce, that.
Yeah.
So basic, I would say decent phone. Like she said, 4K. Yes, please, 4K. You can have additional lenses for your phone.
Oh,
You don't need these really big lenses on cameras. You can get like tiny lenses and they go for cheap. Flashlights, strobe lights, a background. They're mobile backgrounds now, so you know this can cost you what? Maybe like 120K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, for a start.
For a start, yes.
It's game time.
Game time.
All right.
It's nothing too serious.
Okay.
Have you heard this tongue twister?
Oh no.
Peter Piper picked a peck of picked pepper.
Oh, wow.
A peck of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, where's the peck of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked?
Okay.
You go first.
Peter Piper picked the peck of
Pickled pepper.
I'm
One
sorry.
more trial.
Replay. Peter Piper picked the peck of
Don't worry.
I got this.
Oh,
I got this. I'm
Win
ready.
this for us.
Let's have you.
Peter. That's the last one now.
Do you like the video you just watched? Then you should click on the like button and move over to click on the subscribe button. Also, you should click on the bell to get notified anytime we drop amazing episodes of Tea or Coffee for you. Adios!
If you don't believe in the content that you're creating, people can tell. Because it's almost like when you put out content, you're putting out a part of you also.